Hi, this is Joe again with another movie review, but this time we'll be discussing the Halloween movie series, which is really the first real movie series, first real slasher film. And well, the first one came out in 1978, and it was really the first real slasher film. Even though I think 4 years earlier you had a Texas Chainsaw Massacre came out, but you know that was really the first slasher from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but Halloween was the first one to redefine the genre of the slasher film, because you really didn't have all that many except for Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And of course, what I mean is that of course you had anybody who has sex gets killed, or anybody who is a virgin does not get killed. And that's set up for not only for this movie but also the Friday the 13th movies and Nightmare on Elm Street. Pretty much, more than Friday the 13th pretty much copied Halloween almost. And Halloween, of course, was Donald Pleasence as Dr. Loomis, and of course Jamie Lee Curtis in the first movie role in the very first movie, and well, actually the first two movies that went. Jamie Lee Curtis was in the first two films, and I'm not going to discuss the remakes because I'm just going to talk about the original series. The original series, like I said, saw in 1978, and you had a great music theme. It was actually written by John Carpenter, who wrote and directed the movie. But like I said, it starts off with 1978, and it started on Halloween in Hannaford, Illinois, which all the movies were except for the third one, which we'll get to in a minute, was based in. And it starts over Michael Myers, who was a 6-year-old kid who kills his sister after when she had sex with her boyfriend. Boyfriend leaves the house, and she's there in the news. So right away, within the first few minutes, you see a naked girl in the film. And so, what happens? He kills her, and then the next 18 years or whatever, 15 years, he is stuck in the mental hospital, mental psych ward somewhere, and Dr. Loomis was his doctor. He played with Donald Pleasence, and he was in the I think it was 5 of the first 6. Not because the third one was a different story to get to in a minute. And he said, he's the most evil child, and he fought to keep him locked up because he doesn't deserve to be out, because he's dangerous and he's evil incarnate and all that stuff. Well, somehow he gets out. Michael Myers gets out. He knows how to drive. Somebody's supposed to be in the hospital since they were 12, in the mental hospital since they were 12 years old. How in the hell do they know how to drive? So that's one thing. And he goes back to his house, and pretty much for the rest of the movie, he's stalking Jamie Lee Curtis' character. He played Laurie, I believe her name was, and he keeps stalking her through the whole movie. And originally, the name of the original title of the movie was supposed to be the Babysitter Killer or something, and that was the original title of the film. And they changed it to Halloween because Halloween was never really used for a horror movie, number 1, and 2, there was never really a horror movie that's based around Halloween until of course this movie. And for some reason it didn't become successful at first. It became popular by word of mouth. It was like one of the few movies that became successful by word of mouth, because all the critics called it a lousy movie. But then, of course, when it became popular, a popular movie series, then it became a popular movie genre. Then, of course, about 2 years, I think it was 3 years later, they made a sequel, and it was very rare for sequels to pick up where they left off in the first movie. And they picked it up when Michael Myers was killed by Dr. Loomis, but when Dr. Loomis looks out the window, his body was gone. So let's have a scene there, because usually in these horror movies, when a slasher killer that when she doesn't get killed, that's it. They don't come back from the keep coming back from the dead, and that's what set the scene, the genre in this film as well, because you could shoot them, you could set them on fire, run them over with the car, drop them off a 30-story building. They'll still come back from they're not dead. And it wasn't until the 6th movie when you find out why you can't kill this guy. And for the second one, picks up when they're in the hospital, and Jamie Lee Curtis' character's in the hospital, and here's Michael Myers stalking her throughout the whole hospital, killing doctors, killing nurses. And there was this one particular scene when one of the orderlies had sex with a nurse in a hot tub, because they had a hot tub therapy room, and they had sex in the hot tub, and here goes Michael Myers, he kills both of them. And it was ridiculous. And that's, of course, that one also kind of became successful. By the end of the second one, Michael Myers is supposed to, plus along with Dr. Loomis, supposed to die. Excuse me. Supposed to have died at the end of the second movie. So what John Carpenter wanted to do was make a different Halloween. It was kind of like the Twilight Zone television series, making an anthology series, one after the other, a different Halloween, or a different scary story with the Halloween, like Halloween 3, Halloween 4, with a different theme. But Halloween 3 was such a bomb, because I thought it was a terrible movie. And the end of the movie was, a suspenseful ending. But other than that, the movie was pretty bad. And it got panned by the critics, it got panned by fans of the first two films, who wanted to see Michael Myers, didn't see Michael Myers, because apparently he wanted to kill him off, and keep him killed off. But because it was so popular, and the third one was so bad, John Carpenter brought back Michael Myers for the fourth movie, and that's why it was titled The Return of Michael Myers, because it was the return of that character and Donald Pleasence's characters. And he was supposed to be in a coma for it was supposed to be 10 years after the first two movies supposed to take place on the same night. Even though they were 3 years apart, supposed to take place on the same night. So in 1988, they brought back Michael Myers for the fourth movie, and he comes out from a coma, starts killing, and this time goes after his niece. Because what we found out was in the second movie that Jamie Lee Curtis' character is supposed to be Michael Myers' sister, but she was she was put up for adoption, and so he was going after. Kill the sisters. And apparently that she had a niece, and her character died in a car accident. Of course, we know in the 20th anniversary movie Halloween H2O, she was back from the dead because she played dead all those years. And Halloween Insurrection, which is the next one, she was finally killed in that. Her character was killed off in that movie. I know I jumped ahead. So the third movie was titled Season of the Witch. It was played with a crazy guy who owns this company that made these Halloween masks for kids. And so make sure you're home at 8 o'clock on Halloween night, wear your masks, because he kills over all these kids, and then they head into like bugs, and the bugs kill the parents, whoever else happens to be in the room. And that's pretty much what the third movie was. And let's say in the fourth one, he actually came back, went after his niece, and almost kills the niece. And the fifth one, and continue with that story with the niece, and she killed her parents almost the same way as Michael Myers killed his sister. And she wore a clown's costume just like Michael Myers did in the first movie. And of course, Loomis screams out, "No!" You always hear what's up screams no like that. And you had that, series, and then the fifth one, they fought back, and she was killed, and unfortunately, the niece was killed in the fifth movie. and which I think the fifth one at least somehow survives the fifth one. And I think because I saw it like once on YouTube before it was taken down, before the movie was taken down, and I believe that the niece, or if I remember right, I think the niece survives the fifth movie, and it looks like it was going to be okay. And then of course she had a kid, the niece had a kid, and the sixth movie, The Curse of Michael Myers, she went after the niece, and she went after the niece's trial. And in the sixth movie, the niece that Michael Myers was going for in the previous two films kills her, but didn't know about the baby. And this kid that Jamie Lee Curtis's character was babysitting for in the original movie was protecting this kid. And there's some crazy stuff that happens in that thing, and you find out why Michael Myers goes out and kills his family. And it's because of a curse. Because he himself was cursed. Because there's always like one person in a generation, or like 100 years or 1,000 years, goes crazy, and kills his whole family off. And as soon as he kills his whole family off, the curse is over. And that's what happened at the end of this movie. The curse was over. There's no more Michael Myers. They put his character to bed pretty much, and the curse passes from him to Dr. Loomis's character. And of course, naturally, at the end of the sixth one, he screams no. He screams no again. But Halloween 6 was the last movie that Donald Pleasence did, because he died. I think it was either during production or just after when production had ended. He died. So his character is no longer back in the movies anymore. But obviously, except for the Rob Zombie remakes, which I'm not even going to be discussing. And then in 1998, on the 20th anniversary, they made Halloween H2O with Jamie Lee Curtis's character back, fighting off her brother. And I really didn't really see that one, so I really can't comment on that one. So the next one, which I actually did see, was Halloween Insurrection. We did a reality show in Michael Myers' house, old house. And of course, Michael Myers was in the house, was cutting everybody off one by one. And at first, they thought one of the people who was in the house thought it was a publicity stuff for the reality show. Meanwhile, it wasn't. And of course, what happens is actually, I think they stopped the character in that movie, and that pretty much. And I think it wasn't that bad of a film. They did the reality show genre in the Halloween Insurrection. But that's what they did. It didn't come out that successful, and so that's pretty much ended the genre until when the remix came out, the Rob Zombie remix, and which I didn't see because I was not interested in the remix originally, and was interested in the original series. Seeing the original 6, and then maybe seeing the other 2 films, because Jamie Lee Curtis's character came back. But those, pretty much it. But like I said, Halloween, especially the first particular movie, set the stage for the other slasher movie series, which I can't really do a review on Nightmare on Elm Street because I never really saw those movies. Friday the 13th, I saw maybe about half. Not even half those movies. So, but I saw like the first 6 of Friday the 13th series. So I'm gonna probably might do a review on that. I haven't decided yet. But like I said, Halloween set the stage for all that stuff. Like, if you have sex in a movie, you get killed. If you happen to be a virgin, you lived, or you beat the killer. And that's what pretty much that's what set the stage for that one, and Friday the 13th. So thank you for seeing watching the video. Please like the video, like it, subscribe to my page, and catch you next time for maybe another Halloween movie review.